What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Sunday morning. I firstly just want to apologise that we were unable to do a watch-along last night. As you guys know, I was travelling back from London, and anybody who lives in the UK knows that there was, honestly, yesterday was an absolute nightmare. There was train strikes. Yeah, it was very, very difficult to get back, so I ended up having to watch the game on my phone. So yeah, anyway, I do apologise for that. But let's move on. We've got an absolutely massive show for you guys today. So much to get into. Literally, so many different exciting topics to talk about. We've even got a story about Anthony Martial, which I know is going to really excite some of you. As always, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. And let's jump straight on into it. So guys, let's start off with this Anthony Martial story. Why not? Let's start off with some positive. I know people keep asking me, Kieran, what's going on with Martial? Is he going to leave the club? And I say, I don't think so. So there's a story coming in from a journalist in Saudi Arabia. This guy's got 500,000 followers on Twitter. I can't pronounce his name, to be completely honest with you, so I'm not gonna attempt to do it. But so the story goes as follows. It says, exclusive and confirmed, a Saudi club wants to sign Anthony Martial. So this is, as I said, this is coming in from a journalist in Saudi Arabia that apparently an unnamed Saudi club are talking to or are interested in signing Anthony Martial. How does everybody feel about that? I assume everybody's very, very positive about that. We have spoke about Martial quite a lot on this channel. Everybody's kind of said the same thing. Get rid of Martial. He's injury prone. He's on stupid wages. Like, get rid of him. And I've said, to be honest with you guys, as much as I do agree with you, I think he's kind of unsellable just purely because he's got a year left of his contract. He's injury prone and he's on 250 grand a week. But I did say that the only place I could see Martial going is Saudi Arabia. And it does look like Saudi Arabia are now circling for Anthony Martial's signature. So that's really, really positive. Do let me know in the comments section, how much do you think Anthony Martial is worth? I would probably say, take in mind that Al Nassr just signed Alex Telles for 6 million. I would probably say anything between 5 and 10 million would be fair for Anthony Martial. I know that seems very, very low, but at the end of the day, as I said, he's on ridiculous wages, 250 grand a week. Not a single club outside of Saudi Arabia will pay that. He's on ridiculous wages. He's injury prone. So I think around 5 to 10 million would be a fair price for Anthony Martial. But as always, do let me know in the comments section, guys. What do you think about this bit of news coming in? And let me know, how much do you think it would be worth? How much do you think would be a fair price? Would you even be happy to let him go for free? Me personally, I think if we could get 5 to 10 million for Anthony Martial, I'd take that. I think that would be a solid bit of business. But yeah, to be honest, I probably would let him go for free as well at this point because, as I said, he's on £250,000 per week, which is absolutely ridiculous. If we removed him from the club, removed those wages, we could then go and spend that money elsewhere. He's on £13 million per season, so even if we did say get 10 million for him, right, that's 13 million a year we're saving in wages plus 10 million in fee. So really you're making about 23 million pounds there. He's only 27 years of age, but I do just feel like he's never going to really hit the heights that everyone was expecting. He's had really bad injuries after the last couple of years. So I do think, I do like him as a player though, I just want to say, but as I keep saying to you guys, the issue that Manchester United have is, it's not like these players are actually bad, it's because of their wages. He's on £250,000 per week. He's paid more than Harry Kane. Like, just let that sink in. Harry Kane is on £200,000 a week, and Anthony Martial's on £250,000 a week. So you have to factor that in when we're talking about transfer fees, because yes, he might be worth 20, 30 million, right? But he's not going to be worth 20, 30 million if the club have to pay him 250 grand a week. So just kind of get all the bits of the pieces together when you're kind of making your estimates on how much you think he's worth. And I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section, guys. So do get your comments in. Let me know how much you think Anthony Martial is worth. Do you think he would go to Saudi Arabia? I think he probably would, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, I think he would. At the end of the day, guys, Saudi Arabian clubs would pay him more than 250 grand a week. So I think Anthony Martial probably would go to Saudi Arabia. And I think it would be a good move for him, I do. I don't know, I just feel like his injury record, he just hasn't had the best of time, has he, over the last kind of year or so. His loan move, was it Sevilla? His loan move didn't go very well. He came back to Manchester United, he got injured, he'd play for 20 minutes, he'd get injured again. So I just think that, you know, getting rid of those £13 million a year off our wage bill is the most important thing here, because, guys, the thing you have to remember is he'll leave as a free agent next summer anyway. So you have to ask yourself, Do you pay Anthony Martial another £13 million this season to probably just sit on the bench or be injured? Or do you let him go for around 10 million, say, to Saudi Arabia? You cash in on that 10 million and then you save on his 13 million in wages. So the question you have to ask yourself is it worth having an injury-prone Anthony Martial sat on the bench, probably doing nothing? Or would you be happy to just let him go, cash in on the wages? Because as I just said, guys, the thing you've got to remember is if we don't get rid of him now, he will leave for free next summer. He's a free agent next summer. Manchester United won't renew his contract. So, yeah, you either get rid of him now, even if it's for a lesser fee, or you wait a year and then you let him go for nothing. So, I would personally just get rid of him now if we can get that deal done. I'd let him go to Saudi Arabia. He can go and earn ridiculous wages. And then, yeah, I think it's a positive move for Anthony Martial. But as always, guys, I do look forward to seeing your opinions on this one in the comments section. So do get them in. Do let me know how you're feeling. Yeah, and I look forward to reading them. If everybody who's watching could please smash a like on the video, that'd be really, really appreciated. Let's see if we can hit our target by the end of the video. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We're 20 subscribers away from 5,700. So let's see if we can hit that early on in the show. Yeah, we're on the road to... Yeah, let's see if we can do that, guys. So go and smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. And let's move on with the show. I did want to start it off with some positivity, though. I know a lot of people have been asking me about Anthony Martial, and I've been a little bit a bit negative about it. I've said to you guys, he's on ridiculous wages. He's got a year left. Nobody's going to buy him. But I did say the only place I could see him going is Saudi Arabia. So I do think it's positive that this story's come out. As I said, this journalist is a Saudi Arabian journalist. He's got over 500,000 followers on Twitter. Obviously, I don't personally know this journalist because I don't follow Saudi Arabian football. But I had a little look at the source and it did look... I mean, it looks as good as... I mean, it's all in Arabic as well, so I don't know. Obviously, I can't say this is 100% going to happen, but he is a Saudi Arabian journalist, and he has put out this story saying that a club is in talks with Anthony Martial about a move. So, yeah, I think that is good. People talking about Kobbie Mainu in the chat. Honestly, Kobbie Mainu absolutely destroyed Declan Rice yesterday. Honestly, how they paid 105 million for Declan Rice and we've got Kobbie Mainu. I don't want to hype him up too much. I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid's back. Remember, he's only 18 years of age, guys. But Kobbie Mainu could be an absolute beast for Manchester United. I want to say this now. I know I just said I don't want to hype him up, but if he carries on in the way he's going, I think he could eventually be Casemiro's replacement. I do. Casemiro is what, 30 now, is he? 31? Casemiro's 31 years of age. Casemiro's probably got 2 or 3 years left at Manchester United at the top of his game. And then I think we'll probably need to replace him. And I think that person could be Kobbie Mainu. Imagine in 3 years' time, yeah? Kobbie Mainu will be 21. He'll have Premier League experience. Yeah, I absolutely love the guy. I love Kobbie Mainu. And for him to learn under Casemiro, that's absolutely mental, isn't it? So yeah, really, really positive yesterday. Pre-season's gone really, really well, to be honest. It's gone really, really well so far. So yeah, really, really happy with that one. As I said, I had an absolute nightmare with travel yesterday. I was coming back from London, train strikes. Oh, it was so bad. Yeah, so apologies for anybody who was hoping to catch the watch along. The gods were against me. So yeah, I do apologize for that. But yeah, if anybody who lives in the UK, you'll know what it's like at the moment. The trains are striking every single weekend just because they want more money, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're not here to talk about trains, but I thought I'd just explain that really, really quickly in case anybody was wondering where we are. Welcome to everybody joining in the last few minutes, by the way. I hope everyone is doing well on this Sunday morning. We've obviously talked about the Anthony Martial story. Anybody joining new, please just kind of go back to the beginning if you've missed anything. But yeah, I will recap at the end. So let's move on to the next story, guys. Let's keep up the positivity on this Sunday morning. We've got a story coming out today saying that Anthony Elanga will do his medical at Nottingham Forest tomorrow. So for anybody who's unaware, Anthony Martial, I keep getting the names mixed up. Anthony Elanga is moving to Nottingham Forest for £15 million plus add-ons, and the medical will be tomorrow. So we should see an official Elanga leaving the club by tomorrow, Monday, which I think is good. That allows us to then reinvest that money into Amrabat, into somewhere else, who we will be talking about in a minute. We have got another story to bring you about Amrabat, guys. But yeah, as I said, this is coming out from the Telegraph saying that Anthony Elanga's medical is tomorrow for Nottingham Forest. The deal will be worth £15 million plus add-ons. Really good bit of business, that, guys. I wish him all the best. I hope he goes on and does really well for Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I did quite like Anthony Elanga, but he never was going to make it as a Manchester United player. So I'm really, really happy that Elanga's going to get his move. Hopefully he plays every single game for Nottingham Forest, and hopefully he has a good career, because I have no resentment towards the guy whatsoever. He always worked hard. He never complained. And as I've said to you before, guys, Anthony Elanga was only on £5,000 per week. So he wasn't one of these players sat on the bench earning ridiculous money doing nothing. Like, he gave his 100% every single game, but he just never really got the opportunities. So yeah, all my respect to Anthony Elanga. I did really like him as a player, but he never was going to kind of make it. So 15 million plus add-ons for Elanga. I'm happy with that. Again, do let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you think that's a fair deal? Do you think we should have got more? I think anything less than that would have been a disgrace, but I think 15 million is probably fair, considering like he didn't play at all last season. Nottingham Forest know that he's just going to be a bench player. So yeah, I think it's a fair price. I really, really do. But as always, do let me know in the comment section what you think about the Elanga to Nottingham Forest deal. Now, there's people in the live chat asking about Amad Diallo, and unfortunately, guys, there is some bad news about Amad Diallo. Obviously, it's too early to say what the injury is, but it has been confirmed that he left the stadium on crutches yesterday. There's a video circulating on Twitter. Amad Diallo got injured in the game against Arsenal yesterday, and he did leave the stadium on crutches. At this point, they don't know what the injury is, but yeah, as I just said, guys, Amad Diallo left the stadium on crutches. So let's hope it's just a precaution. But I mean, when somebody leaves on crutches, it's never particularly good. The story says Amad left the stadium on crutches after suffering a twisted ankle in Manchester United's friendly win against Arsenal. Now, I don't really know how long a twisted ankle is, how long you're injured for. Does anybody know? Let me know in the comment section, guys, how long a twisted ankle is usually out for. I mean, it's not the worst. It's not like he's broken his leg. So yeah, you have to wait about 24 hours usually, guys, to kind of assess the damage of an injury. Let's just hope that it isn't too bad. But he did leave the stadium on crutches. So yeah, I mean, we probably won't see him in any of these preseason matches in America, but hopefully we can see him again before the end of the season. I just want to say as well, guys, absolutely massive shouts to Jadon Sancho. Like, some people on Twitter have given him so much stick over the last kind of few weeks, saying he's fat. You know, people laughing that he can't do a push-up properly. Like, honestly, it's absolutely sickening. Like, some Manchester United fans on Twitter, like, I don't get it. I really, really don't. I guess they're just keyboard warriors, aren't they? Like, I just don't understand why you'd send so much hate towards a player who plays for our club. And I want to send a massive shout out to Jadon Sancho. He looked really good yesterday. His goal was an absolute beautiful goal. So big ups to Jadon Sancho. I do hope he does well for Manchester United, you know, because there definitely is a player there. And I'm not somebody who's ever going to, I'm not somebody who's ever going to like target people for their weight or like, oh, he can't do a push-up and stuff. It's just embarrassing, isn't it? It's just like, come on, you're supposed to support these players, you know? They're human beings. Anyway, that's how I, if you guys want to do that, then that's completely up to you. But I will not be saying, making personal comments about people who are clearly professional athletes. Anyway, big ups to Jadon Sancho. He got an amazing goal yesterday. Although I did want to bring this to you really, really quickly, guys. There is a story coming out today still from BBC Sport and from The Telegraph, I believe it was, both saying that Jadon Sancho is still up for sale. So Jadon Sancho is still available on the transfer market, they're reporting. But ultimately, the gist of it is what they're saying is he's available for the right price. So if somebody puts in a big bid for Jadon Sancho, they will consider it. But at this point, Jadon Sancho is probably not going to have a big bid put in for him, because the thing you've got to remember, guys, is Jadon Sancho's again on ridiculous wages. He's on like 350k a week. I don't think anybody will pay that kind of money for Jadon, to be completely honest with you. But I do have a question for you guys, actually, which I want you to let me know in the comment section. How much is the minimum price you would be happy to let Jadon Sancho go for? What's the absolute bare minimum? Take in mind, we paid £73 million for him. What was that, 2 years ago? We paid £73 million for him 2 years ago. How much would you be willing to let Jadon Sancho go for? Let me know in the comment section. For me personally, I think anything less than like 55 is a disgrace, to be completely honest with you, because I'm telling you now, guys, if Jadon Sancho leaves the club, in a couple of years' time, he'll go on to be a world-class player and we'll all be sat here looking like idiots. I bet you any money. I honestly do. He's only 23 years of age. He's nowhere near his prime, you know? I think players' prime's usually like, 26 to 30? So he's got a good 2 or 3 years until he reaches his prime. So I honestly think if he leaves the club, he'll go on to be a world-class player, and it'll be another one of those Pogba-type signings that, they leave, they go on to be really good, and then in a few years' time, Manchester United are linked to them again. And, I can just see it happening. So for me, if Erik ten Hag can make it work with Jadon Sancho, I would 100% keep him. Give him one more season. I think he played well yesterday. He didn't play particularly well in the other two season games, to be completely honest with you. But yesterday he looked a lot better. But the thing you've got to remember, guys, is yesterday he was playing with a lot better people. In those games against Leeds and Lyon, it was pretty much with all the youth players. So you do have to remember that, guys. Jadon Sancho yesterday did have the majority of the first team with him. So that probably is why, you know, he had a better performance. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. What did you think of his performance yesterday? Were you impressed with Jadon Sancho? Me personally, I was really, really happy he got his goal. Really, really happy for Jadon. And I do wish him all the best, and I do want him to stay at the club. Yeah, as Jamie says in the chat, he looked really, really sharp yesterday. He did. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, the further you get into pre-season training, the better and better they'll look. You know, at the beginning, they'll be tired, they'll be a bit leggy. But yeah, Jadon looked really, really good yesterday. So I'm really, really happy for him. I honestly am. We've got over 400 people watching today. Absolutely amazing, guys. Big ups to everybody. Can you all make sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? We're 17 subscribers away from 5,700. So please go and do that really, really quickly. It doesn't cost any money. Get involved in this community. Right, let's move on. But as always, guys, I do look forward to seeing your comments about Jadon Sancho. So get your comments in. Would you like him to leave the club? What's the bare minimum you'd kind of sell him for? Give me your reasons. I look forward to reading them in the comment section. As I said, for me, guys, I would keep him for one more season. But if a big bid came in for him, say 55, 60 million pounds, then maybe I would consider it. But yeah, only if there was a better option available. You know, if it was like we were going to go and buy, I don't know, Mbappe or something. Obviously, I'm being stupid. I want to ask this to you guys actually really, really quickly. Now, I did want to bring this into the show, and I know it's very, very hypothetical at this point, but would you guys like to see Mbappe at Manchester United in the current moment, okay? Obviously, for anybody unaware, PSG have officially put Kylian Mbappe up for sale. Apparently, a Saudi Arabian club are going to pay 200 million, right, for Kylian Mbappe for one season. They're going to give PSG 200 million, sign him on a one-year contract. I think they're going to give him 200 million a year, and then they're going to sell him to Real Madrid. But anyway, just for argument's sake, guys, would you like to have Kylian Mbappe at Manchester United if it was an option for say 150 million euros? Would you go for it? I know obviously this is hypothetical, and I'm not by any means saying that we're linked to him at this point, but it's a difficult one for me with Kylian, because obviously he's a world-class player and somebody who would obviously massively improve our team, but I really don't like the way that he's dealt with PSG. I think it's actually a disgrace. Obviously, I don't like PSG. I don't like, that they've pretty much bought that league. But overall, I actually think that the way that Kylian Mbappe has handled this situation is an absolute disgrace, to be completely honest with you guys. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring this one into the show as a little bit of a fun question. Just as a little bit of a fun question. So do let me know, would you go for Kylian Mbappe? Me personally, I don't really think it's a good move for Manchester United, but obviously, yeah, I look forward to seeing your comments, so do get them in below. Right, let's move on to the next story, because this isn't a Kylian Mbappe show. I will do a poll actually about that, as somebody asked. Once we hit our like target of 200 likes, I'll do a poll on Kylian Mbappe. So it'll probably be in the second half of the show, guys. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like it now, and then I'll set up a new poll. And as I said, please do subscribe. We're 12 subscribers away from 5,700. So let's see if we can hit that in the next couple of minutes. Right, let's move on to the next story. Emmanuel, I've just made you a mod. So yeah, big ups to all the moderators as well, guys. Massive shouts to all of you. You're doing a great job. So yeah, massive thank you to everybody. Right, let's move on to another story really, really quickly. We're going to talk about Charlie Savage, just really, really quick. So for anybody who is unaware, Charlie Savage has permanently moved to Reading. We're not sure about what the fee is yet, guys. I assume it will be probably less than £1 million, to be completely honest. So Charlie Savage, obviously the son of Robbie Savage, has moved on a permanent deal to Reading. Apparently the deal includes a sell-on clause, which gives Manchester United the option to match any future bids. So say Charlie Savage goes on to be a really good player, Manchester United get the first kind of refusal to bring him back if they want. So Charlie Savage has left. Again, I think that's positive. I don't think he was ever going to make it as a Manchester United player, to be completely honest with you. But so we've got some breaking news, actually, guys. I love getting breaking news whilst we're live. So, guys, this is literally coming out in the last 30 seconds, right? This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Breaking news. Nottingham Forest are insisting on Dean Henderson as negotiations are now ongoing with Manchester United after the loan bid sent earlier last week was rejected. So, guys, breaking news. Manchester United and Nottingham Forest are now back in negotiations, and Nottingham Forest are insisting on bringing Dean Henderson to the club. Obviously, they had a loan bid rejected, but Fabrizio is reporting that they're now renegotiating, and Nottingham Forest are insisting on bringing him to the club. So it does look like it does look like Dean Henderson will move to Nottingham Forest, guys. Really, really happy about that. Really, really positive. Yeah, very, very happy about that one, guys. Let me know in the comments section, though, how much would you like to see Dean Henderson go for? For me, I think at least 15 to 20 million at the very, very minimum. The thing you've got to remember here, guys, is that the Manchester City goalkeeper, who's never even played a Premier League match, has just gone to Burnley for 19 million. So we need to get at least that amount of money. We really, really do. But yeah, let me know in the comments section, guys, how much would you go for Dean Henderson? What would be your reasonable fee? For me, it would be, I'd say 20 million. But yeah, that was coming out from Fabrizio Romano, by the way. He says Nottingham Forest are insisting on Dean Henderson as negotiations are ongoing with Manchester United after a loan bid sent earlier this week. So yeah, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest are currently back in negotiations, and we believe this will be a permanent deal. People in the chat saying 25, 20, 30. Yeah, 100%, guys. It needs to be 20 minimum. Somebody says, what's your stance on Henderson after making great saves against Arsenal? For me, guys, Henderson needs to leave the club. I wish him all the best, but we've got Onana now. I don't want Dean Henderson at Manchester United anymore. I really, really don't. I wish nothing against him. I don't have any bad blood against him, but get him out of the club. Get 20 to 30 million in for him, and yeah, let's get that deal over the line. But yeah, that's really, really positive, and I do like it when we get breaking news whilst we're live on the show, because it's quite exciting to discuss these things whilst we're live, and you get my live interaction. Because it had gone a bit quiet, hadn't it? And everyone was saying, "Oh, I'm really worried. Dean Henderson's gone on the plane to America. Is he staying at the club, Kieran? What's going on?" And I said, guys, don't worry. Like, just because somebody goes on the plane doesn't mean they're staying. The thing you guys have to remember, right? Manchester United fly back from the United States in like a week. Elanga went on the tour. He's going back to England tomorrow to do his medical. So it's absolutely no issue. Somebody's asking about Tom Heaton in the chat. So guys, Tom Heaton looks like he's going to move to Luton. So in the goalkeeper situation, this is the current overview. Obviously, Onana has just joined Manchester United. Dean Henderson, as I just said, is in talks again with Nottingham Forest, and it looks like that deal will happen. Tom Heaton is set to move to Luton, and we will then bring in Zion Suzuki as the backup goalkeeper. So very, very positive. Very, very happy about this one. As always, do let me know in the comments section, guys, what is the very, very minimum you would let Dean Henderson go for? And let me know your reasons as well. Maybe you even say, to be honest, Kieran, I would like to keep Dean Henderson. Do let me know your reasons why you've picked what you've said. And yeah, and I look forward to reading them, as I always do. We've got over 500 people watching today, guys. Absolutely incredible. Please make sure to like the video quickly and subscribe if you are new here. I will be setting up a poll when we hit 200 likes. So yeah, do smash a like on the video. And we're 7 subscribers away from 5,700. So make sure to go and subscribe really, really quickly if you haven't already. And as well, guys, just as a heads up, I will be reading out some of your questions in the second half of the show. So if you guys have any questions, do get them in. And if you want to do super chats, or if you want to join the members club, just hit the $sign. Any support is, of course, massively appreciated. I've just put a link in the chat for the members club, so do get involved. Right, let's move on to the next story. I'm absolutely buzzing about that bit of news, though, guys. Absolutely buzzing that Dean Henderson's going to go to Nottingham Forest. Really, really happy about that one. Yeah, as I said, 20 million bare minimum. It should be 30 to 35. He's played, how many games has he played in the Premier League? Probably 50 to 100. He's played for England. We should be getting like £30 million for Dean Henderson. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm just checking out how long his contract is. I think he's got quite a bit left of his contract, hasn't he? Does anybody know how long Dean Henderson's contract is? Let me just have a check for you guys. His contract expires in 2026. So Dean Henderson has 3 years left on his contract, guys. We should be getting 20 to 30 million for him for that, at least. He's only got 3 years left. Sorry, he's got 3 years left, which is a long time. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Yeah, as always, do let me know in the comments section. Yeah, in relation to Suzuki, guys, Zion Suzuki from Urawa Reds. Apparently, Manchester United are in advanced talks with Urawa Reds over the deal for Zion Suzuki. He's got a release clause of £5 million. Of course, as soon as we get the full confirmation of that, we will let you know. The story goes as follows. Manchester United are expected to trigger Zion Suzuki's release clause of about £5 million. Apparently, personal terms are already agreed. It goes on to say, an agreement between Manchester United and Urawa Reds for Zion Suzuki is now a matter of time away. Urawa have agreed to Suzuki's wishes to join Manchester United, and the deal will be completed once Urawa have cleared the organisational issues. So it does look like Zion Suzuki will be a Manchester United player. I'm really happy about that one, guys. Again, he's not somebody I know a lot about, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've watched the Japanese league every single week, because I simply don't. But for 5 million, Zion Suzuki, what I have seen of him, compilations, I've read a few scout reports about him, and he looks really, really good. He's very good with his feet. He's good at distribution. He seems like a younger version of Onana. He's only 20 years of age, so I would definitely bring in this guy for 5 million. Yeah, I would definitely bring him in for 5 million. But let me know in the comment section, guys, how would you feel about Zion Suzuki for 5 million? Would you like to see him at the club? Is there somebody else you'd like to see here instead? I look forward to seeing your responses. So it does look like Zion Suzuki will be a here we go very, very soon. It'll be £5 million. That's what's being reported. And apparently personal terms are agreed and he wants the move. So yeah, that's great. Really happy about that one. Right. Just having a look. Right, let's move on to the next story, guys. Let's jump into the next one. So let's talk about Amrabat. So the price for Amrabat has officially been set. This is coming out from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio says Manchester United like Amrabat and want to negotiate for him. Fiorentina want around 30 to 35 million pounds for Amrabat. United will focus on a potential new midfielder and centre-back after Rasmus Hojlund. So this is brand new news, guys. Coming out from Fabrizio Romano that Manchester United, after they've signed Rasmus Hojlund, are going to go for a new midfielder and a new centre-back. Now, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, who would your midfielder be and who would your centre-back be? And let me know why you've selected it. So, obviously the midfielder looks like it'll be Sofian Amrabat. 30 to 35 million pounds is apparently the requested fee from Fiorentina. Do let me know in the comment section as well how much you think the players you've picked would be. I think 30 to 35 for Amrabat is fair. The thing you've got to remember, guys, is that's the opening request. So they're saying we want 30 to 35. It doesn't mean they're going to get it, okay? So Fiorentina are asking for 30 to 35. Manchester United might go in with 20. And then they might meet somewhere in the middle at 25. So this is coming out from Fabrizio Romano. I think £25 million to £30 million for Amrabat is an absolute incredible deal. I would definitely go and get him. For that amount of money, I don't think you're going to get a better player in this current market. When people like Romeo Lavia, from Southampton are valued at 50 million and you can get Amrabat for around 25 to 30, I would 100% go and get that deal. So yeah, it would be Amrabat for me as the midfielder, and then as the centre-back I would probably go with I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this person. He's relatively young. He's called Antonio Silva. He plays for Benfica, 19 years of age, Portuguese centre-back. He looks absolutely quality. So if it was up to me, guys, I'd go and get Amrabat and I'd go and get Antonio Silva. But I do look forward to seeing your comments on who you would pick as the new midfielder and centre-back. The context of this is Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Manchester United will focus on a new midfielder and centre-back after signing Rasmus Hojlund. So it looks like we are going to go for it. Obviously, it looks like Fred's going to leave the club. It looks like Maguire probably will leave the club, I think, but it might take a while. So yeah, this is really, really positive. The talks are ongoing for Sofian Amrabat, and Manchester United want to negotiate for him. The starting bid is 30 to 35 million. Very, very happy with that. I mean, even if we pay 30 to 35 million for Amrabat, I would take that any day of the week. I really, really would. But I look forward to seeing your comments in the comment section, as always. We've got over 650 people watching today, guys. Absolutely incredible. Let's see if we can... I think our record was 800 people. Let's see if we can hit that today. So make sure to smash a like on the video. It helps getting more people into the chat. And do subscribe if you're new here. Let's see if we can break our record of the most people in the chat in one day, guys. That would be absolutely incredible. And yeah, as I said, please do subscribe if you are new here. I will be setting up a poll when we hit 200 likes. So as soon as we hit 200 likes, I will set up a poll. So go and do that now if you haven't already, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Let's move on to the next story though. Let's keep things moving. I do like to keep things moving quite fast, and then I will read out some of your comments and stuff into the second half of the show, guys. So yeah, do get your questions in, and I will come back to the chat in a little bit from now. Right, let's move on to the next story. Let's talk about... So, people are probably wondering in the thumbnail what this means. Manchester United have officially signed 2 players. Okay? And I'm not talking about Onana and Mason Mount here, guys. Manchester United have officially signed 2 players. So, this is coming out from Laurie Whitwell in The Athletic and multiple other journalists. Manchester United have agreed a fee of 1.25 million for Darren Fletcher's sons, Jack and Tyler Fletcher. So we've just signed Darren Fletcher's 2 sons, who apparently are really, really highly rated. They're both 16. They'll both go straight into the under-21 squad. So we've confirmed the signing of Darren Fletcher's sons, Jack and Tyler Fletcher. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I've never heard of either of them, but I did do a bit of research, and apparently they are quite highly regarded. They used to play for Manchester City's academy. We've just brought them over to the club. I think it was the highest fee ever paid for like a youth player. So yeah, they must be decent. I'm not sure how everybody thinks about that one. Obviously, I trust Erik ten Hag. I trust Darren Fletcher. So yeah, I am excited about this. Let's hope that these two players are good and they make it into the team eventually, because it would be nice, wouldn't it, to kind of see that legacy of Darren Fletcher's sons coming into the Manchester United squad. But yeah, we have officially signed 2 players. I know it's not the most exciting signings, and people are probably thinking, why are we talking about this? But it is a signing nonetheless. The deal is worth £1.25 million. Jack Fletcher, Tyler Fletcher, they're both midfielders. They're both 16 years of age. They both play for the international clubs at, I think they're twins. Yeah, I think they're twins. So yeah, they're twins, Jack and Tyler Fletcher. Let's wish them all the best, guys. Yeah, I hope they do well. I hope they break into the first team. I know how difficult it is for players to get into the first team at Manchester United. You know, the path from under 21s level to first team level is not the easiest thing. So let's wish them all the best. Let's hope they come in and they absolutely smash it. But let's move on to something a bit more exciting, because I know most of you probably don't care about Darren Fletcher's sons joining the club. Let's talk about Rasmus Hojlund, guys. So excited about this player. We did a video yesterday. We did a deep dive into Darren Fletcher. We did a deep dive into Rasmus Hojlund yesterday, guys, which I really researched at length and I was really excited to do. I'll drop a link for that in the chat now. So if anybody wants to watch it, Rasmus deep dive. Right, I've just put that link in the chat, so if anybody wants to watch this after, you're more than welcome to go and do that. So yeah, I did this massive video yesterday on Rasmus Hojlund, why there's so much excitement about him, what he'll bring to Manchester United, all the rest of it. And we have got some more stories coming out about Rasmus Hojlund, guys, so brace yourselves for this one. We've got some really positive news about the Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United deal. So there is a story coming out saying that apparently Rasmus Hojlund has already informed the club of his desire to leave and join Manchester United. So Rasmus Hojlund wants Manchester United. He doesn't want to stay at Atalanta. He obviously respects the club. You know, he respects that they've given him a chance to come to Serie A and play in a proper league, but he does want to join Manchester United. And it goes on to say that Atalanta are preparing for the probable farewell of Rasmus Hojlund and have already made contact for Almeria's El Bilal Touré and AC Milan's Lorenzo Colombo as his replacement. So Atalanta have already sorted out a replacement for Rasmus Hojlund. They're already working on this deal. It does look like he will be the next signing. Very excited about him. And it also goes on to say, this is coming out from Santi JFM. He says, Rasmus Hojlund is Manchester United's priority. A contractual agreement with the Red Devils already exists on personal terms. An official offer for Atalanta is expected in the next couple of days, guys. So we do expect a bid to be going in Monday or Tuesday next week, which is really positive. And Fabrizio says as well that Manchester United's priority is Hojlund. Once Hojlund is signed, they will then look at Amrabat. So very positive. I do think we'll get the here we go from Fabrizio Romano this week for Rasmus Hojlund. Please do let me know in the comment section, guys. When do you think we'll get the Rasmus Hojlund here we go? Do you think it'll be this week? Do you think it'll be next week? I'm going to go with... I reckon we'll get the here we go on Tuesday. But let me know in the comment section, when will we get the here we go for Rasmus Hojlund? I'm going with Tuesday. Yeah, the story says that ultimately he wants Manchester United over PSG. He doesn't want to go to PSG. He wants to come to Manchester United. It's his boyhood club, you've got to remember, guys. He wants Manchester United. They say that there are other people interested, but he's waiting for Manchester United. That's what we want, guys. We want people who want to come to the club, people who want to put on that shirt, people who understand what it means to be a Manchester United player, and Rasmus Hojlund is that person. He is. And we have got a bit of clarity over his wages as well, guys, which I thought I would bring to you because you guys do like to talk about these types of things. So it says, Manchester United has been Rasmus Hojlund's favourite club since he was a child. He has already agreed personal terms with Manchester United and will earn €4.5 million plus bonuses per season. I mean, guys, if we get this deal over the line and we're only paying him €4.5 million a year, that is an incredible bit of business. Let me know how you feel about that, guys. The reported salary for Rasmus Hojlund will be €4.5 million per year, which works out at... Let me just work this out for you guys. It works out about around £70,000 per week. That's how much we'll pay him. Really happy about that. I think that's a great bit of business. That would put him in the same kind of wage bracket as a Garnacho, which I think is fair. They're both young. They've both got a lot to kind of develop. Very happy about that. Now, I've got a question to bring you, which is a little bit off topic, but I've got one off a little bit off topic. But how much do you think Garnacho is worth in the current market? Let me know in the comment section below. How much would you say Garnacho is worth in the current market? I would probably say I'd probably say 50 to 100 million for Garnacho. You know, if people like Rasmus Hojlund are worth 50 million, then Garnacho's easily worth that. Rasmus Hojlund's only 20 years of age, you've got to remember. And as I said, he's a boyhood Manchester United fan. He wants to come to the club. I think it's a great move. I really, really do. Alfredo Padula, who again was a really, really good journalist around the Onana deal, has said Atalanta are preparing for the probable farewell of Hojlund. They've already made contact with 2 other strikers. Very, very positive. Very happy about that one. Right, guys, we've got over 700 people watching today. Absolutely incredible. Please do make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're about 10 away from 5,700, so please go and smash a like and subscribe really, really quickly. I'm going to get a poll set up for you now as well. And yeah, if I've got a little contest for you guys. All right. If we hit 500 likes on this video today, I will give out I'll give out a membership on the next live stream. So if we hit 500 likes today on this video, I will give out a membership to the Daily Red Devils Members Club to somebody in this chat on the next live stream, which will be this evening. So make sure you smash a like and subscribe. And if we hit 500 likes on this video, by the time we do our show this evening, I will I will give out a membership. So yeah, do get involved, guys, and smash a like on the video if you would like to win a membership. Right, I'm going to do a poll really quickly. So the question's going to be, quite a few people wanted me to do this. I'm just doing it really quickly. So if I Mbappe to United. Okay, so the question for the second half of the show, I know this is maybe slightly hypothetical, but let's just do it anyway. It's a bit of fun. So the question is, Mbappe to Manchester United, yes or no? Let me know on the poll and let me know your reasons in the comment section. I've said, well, yes, because he's clearly world class, but he does worry me about the kind of situation at PSG. He really, really does. Right, let's talk about something else. Let's move to something else, guys, and do get involved in that poll about Kylian Mbappe. Right, where are we? Let's talk about Johnny Evans really, really quickly. There's a new story coming out about Johnny Evans. This is coming from Simon Stone in the BBC Sport in the UK. He says, Johnny Evans' temporary return to Manchester United could well become permanent, with uncertainty over the future of Harry Maguire. Offering Evans a 1-year deal has not been ruled out by Erik ten Hag. So at the moment, it does look like Johnny Evans is in line to get a contract at Manchester United. I'm very, very happy about that. I think he deserves it. And as I've said multiple times before, I 100% would rather have Johnny Evans at the club than Maguire, to be completely honest with you. Maguire's on ridiculous wages. We should be able to get some money for him. So if we can get rid of Harry Maguire and keep Johnny Evans as a backup, I think that's a great bit of business. So yeah, that's my take on it. But yeah, do let me know in the comment section. Would you like to see Johnny Evans get a 1-year deal? I think he looked quite good in the preseason matches so far. I know he's not a Kim Min-jae. I know he's not... he's not a Varane or a Martinez, but he is good as a 5th choice centre-back. So I would keep him personally if it was up to me. But as always, do let me know in the comment section, would you keep Johnny Evans at the club? As I said, Simon Stone in the BBC is reporting that Manchester United are reportedly interested in giving him a 1-year deal. So yeah, I think that's positive, I do. Right. Let's have a look what else we have to talk about today. There's something I wanted to bring in really, really quickly. Now, I just wanted to clarify that we haven't been linked to this player this summer, although we were linked to him last summer, okay? So does everybody remember Calvin Bassey? Obviously the Ajax striker. He looks like he's going to move to Fulham. Now, weren't Manchester United really trying to get this guy? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of the striker. Ignore me. Completely disregard me. I'm thinking of a different player. Right, as well, guys, I will read out some of your comments in the second half of the show, so make sure you get your questions in, and I will read out as many as I can when we get into, well, yeah, in the last kind of 10 or 20 minutes. We've got about 20 minutes left of the show, so yeah, do get involved, and I will read some out as and when we get to that point. Right, let's have a look at where we are. Yeah. I was thinking of Broby. Yeah, you're right. The person in the chat. I was thinking about Broby, not Bassey. I got confused there. I do apologise. Right. Okay. Let's move on to the next story, though. Yeah, Calvin Bassey. Kudos is a player I would definitely like. So let's talk about Jadon Sancho really, really quickly. As I said, there's a story coming out this morning from The Telegraph reporting the following. Manchester United are still willing to listen to offers for Jadon Sancho, but the 23-year-old has a lot to prove and a big season ahead of him if he remains at Old Trafford, which seems likely. So at the moment, it does seem like Jadon Sancho will stay at Manchester United. It doesn't seem like they will sell him. Ultimately, as I said before earlier on in the show, if a big bid comes in for him, then maybe they would look to sell him. But at this point, it looks like Jadon Sancho will remain at the club, which I do think is the correct move. I do like Jadon Sancho. Yeah, I really, really do hope that he kind of succeeds at Manchester United for me personally. But yeah. Right. Should we talk about the takeover a little bit? I am going to do a whole separate video on the takeover today because there has been quite a lot of news about the takeover in the last 24 hours. But I do get a bit conscious that sometimes the live streams just get kind of taken over by the takeover, and it's just a bit draining sometimes, it is. So yeah, I didn't really want to focus on it too much. There's a quote as well coming out about Rasmus Hojlund really, really quickly to Atalanta from the manager. He says, so this is the Atalanta manager. He says, Hojlund and Manchester United, sometimes there are choices to make and also agents. We have to consider all the financial factors. He's very happy here. I'd love to keep Rasmus, of course, but sometimes clubs and players have to consider huge bids. So I think Atalanta have pretty much accepted that. I think they've pretty much accepted that he's going to go. And as I said earlier on in the stream, they've already found a replacement striker. They've got 2 strikers lined up for him. So I think it's a matter of when, not if, for Rasmus Hojlund. Let's just talk about the game last night really, really quickly, because obviously I was unable to do it because I got stuck in a real issue with train strikes in the UK. But how did everybody feel about the game last night? I mean, I was really, really impressed. I really, really was. On the very basic level, Arsenal put out their starting 11, okay? They literally had out their best 11 to start the game. And Arsenal have played a couple of games, I think, with that starting 11 already. That was the first time we saw people like Rashford, Garnacho, this season, Antony. Or maybe not Antony, he played in the last game. But you get my point. It was the first time we'd played quite a lot of players. And we absolutely dominated them. We really, really did. So I thought it was a good watch. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I thought it was good. And as I said, Sancho, I'm so happy for him. He got his goal. He shut up the trolls. He shut up the people saying he was fat and that he couldn't do push-ups and all the rest of that rubbish. I thought it was a really, really solid performance and I was really, really happy with it. And I know it's only pre-season and I know it's only a friendly, but we are building up momentum. You know, we are going in the right direction. Yeah, so I think it's good. As I said, I will read out some of your questions as well in the last kind of 10 or so minutes. So do make sure to get your questions in and make sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new here. So somebody's asking about Anthony Martial. Yes, we have spoke about Martial already. If you have only just joined, I suggest just skipping back to the beginning of the show and you can kind of hear everything we've talked about. Yeah, there was a story about Anthony Martial, but I'm conscious of kind of repeating myself. But yeah, ultimately there was a story about Martial to Saudi Arabia. So yeah, do go back and kind of start from the beginning. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. As I said, we will be doing a whole separate video on the takeover later on today, guys. It will just be like a short summary of what's going on at the moment. So I'm not going to probably talk about the takeover on this video, I don't think, if everyone is all right with that. I've got a question, actually. What would you guys do with Brandon Williams? Would you like to see Brandon Williams remain at the club next summer or next season? Sorry. Do you think he has a future at Manchester United? Let me know in the comments section. For me personally, I think Fred, Elanga, Van der Beek, Eric Bailly, Brandon Williams, Dean Henderson, all of those players need to go 100%. They definitely need to leave the club. I don't think we'd get much money for Brandon Williams. I mean, he's not a bad player, but I wouldn't say he's going to be a world-class player at any point. He's not going to make it with Manchester United, in my opinion. He still is young, though. I think he is 22 years of age. What would you do with Brandon Williams? Yeah, let me know in the comment section what you would do with him. I would let him go. I really, really would. My kind of immediate list of players that I think should go at the moment are Brandon Williams, Fred, Eric Bailly, Alex Telles, who's obviously gone, Elanga, Dean Henderson. I think those 6 or 7 players need to 100% leave the club. People like Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, I know lots of people in the chat want him gone, but I do think it's maybe a little bit unrealistic. Just a quick one, guys. We are 30 subscribers away from 5,800 now, so let's see if we can hit that by the end of the stream. The target is to hit 5,800 subscribers. If we do that by the end of the stream, I will gift a membership to somebody, so please do make sure to subscribe. And if we hit 5,800 by the end of this video, we're about 30 away, I will give out a membership to somebody in the chat, so do make sure you've subscribed and you've hit that like button. And I also promised as well, if we hit 500 likes by the end of this stream today, I will give out a membership on this evening stream. So yeah, do get get involved. Right, I'm going to read out a couple of your questions really, really quickly. Let's read out this one. Irvin says, is Casemiro our vice-captain now? Yes, I think he is, guys. I think he is. It hasn't been confirmed in the press yet, but it does look like Casemiro is the vice-captain of Manchester United. And I just have to say, Casemiro as the vice-captain, absolutely unbelievable. That is exactly the kind of captain we want at Manchester United. I love Casemiro. He obviously took the captain's armband in the second half of the game yesterday. I think him as the vice-captain, I honestly think, I'm not trying to gas him up, I think Casemiro is the best vice-captain in world football. 100%. Let me know if you agree with me in the chat. Do you think Casemiro is the best vice-captain in all of the teams in world football? I think he is. He would captain probably 90% of the teams in the Premier League, 95% of the teams, right? And for him to be our vice-captain, that is unbelievable. I mean, how many Champions Leagues has Casemiro won? Ridiculous amount. How many La Ligas has he won? Ridiculous amount. Like, he is a quality player. He is a Rolls Royce of a player. He's won 5 Champions Leagues. Yeah, he is a quality player. And to have him as our backup, as our, as our vice-captain, absolutely unbelievable. And I do think he will be, the vice-captain. I think if he's not on the pitch, it will probably be Varane. Honestly, to have those as our captains, Bruno as the main captain, and then Casemiro, and then what's he called? Varane, unbelievable. Right, this is a good question, actually. I'm going to ask this back to the chat. So, Sajiv says, how many points will we get in our first 5 games? That is an amazing question. Thank you very much for that. I'll echo that back to the chat. So the question is, guys, how many points will we get out of our first 5 games of the season? I will let you know what the first 5 games are so you have some context. So our first 5 games of the season are Wolves at home, Tottenham away, Nottingham Forest at home, Arsenal away, and Brighton at home. So I'm going to do this really, really quickly. Do you want me to copy and paste them into the chat? So let's do this together, right? Manchester United versus Wolves, 3 points. Manchester United versus Tottenham away, 1 point. Newcastle at home, Nottingham Forest at home, 3 points. That's 7. Arsenal away, 1 point. That's 8. Brighton at home, 3 points. So I'm going with 11 points out of the first 15, guys. Okay. I'm going with 11 out of the first 15. But let me know in the comments section. Somebody's saying 20 out of the first 5. I mean, if we could get 20 points out of the first 5 games, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't think it's actually literally possible, but I mean, if it is, then yeah, let's hope it does happen. Apologies if I've missed some of your question, guys. As I've said, like, most channels only read out the questions that people pay for, so if I miss out any questions, I do apologize. I can only read out what I see, but I do appreciate your patience. And if you do want to do super chats, or if you want to join the membership club, you can just hit the $sign. Joe says there's a few quality of a certain in our squad. There's a few captains, a few players quality enough to be the captain in our squads. Am I right, guys? We've got a whole squad of captains: Varane, Martinez, Casemiro, Bruno, even people like Luke Shaw. Like, we've got 4 or 5 people who could be a captain probably in most teams in the Premier League, in my opinion. Like, I'm not being funny, but the people, I know this isn't an Arsenal channel, but I'm just comparing. Like, do you think Odegaard is a good captain? Do you really think that that's somebody that they look up to? I don't think so, personally. I mean, I know he was at Real Madrid, but he never really played, did he? He's only won 2 trophies in his whole career where he's actually been playing. You know, who would you rather have as your captain, right? Bruno Fernandes, who some people I think, say he's petulant, but he definitely is a leader. He definitely, has respect of the players. Would you rather have Bruno Fernandes, who's won multiple trophies, and then Casemiro as your backup captain, or would you want Odegaard? I mean, it's not really a comparison, is it, for me? I'm really, really happy with him having as the... Somebody says it's 8:45, dude. What are you doing, man? Have some breakfast. Don't you worry, guys. I will be having breakfast after this stream, so don't worry. I'm not, I won't go hungry. Lumen says, Kieran, what makes you say we would draw against Spurs? Even Spurs fans don't rate their team. They have a new manager. Because I think that's their first home game of the season. It'll be their first game of the season at whatever it's called. Their stadium is called. Going away to Spurs is always a difficult match, guys. It is. So yeah, I don't think it'll be an easy match. I really, really don't. Somebody saying Rice should be the vice captain. I mean, yeah, Rice should be the captain of Arsenal, and I'm sure he will be in a couple of years. But yeah, right, let's have a look. We've got 10 minutes left of the stream, guys. So do get your questions in, and I will read some out. So Amrabat says, I believe we will dominate City and Liverpool. Your thoughts? I mean, I don't know. Like, pre-season has been really, really good so far. I'm feeling really, really positive. I like the way we're playing. I think we're, you know, we look solid in every area of the pitch, but I am a little bit like, I don't want to say we're going to win the league or anything like that, because I don't think we're at that position yet. But you never know in football, guys. You really don't know. I think we'll have a better season than we did last year, that's for sure. And by better, I mean I think the performances will be better. I think they'll be more convincing. I don't know whether we'll finish higher or not. I'm not sure at this point, but I do think we'll play better next season. Football-wise, I really do. We're 60 subscribers away from 5,800, guys. So as I said, if we hit 5,800 by the end of this stream, I will give out a membership. So do subscribe if you are new, and make sure to smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Right, let's read out a few more questions. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys. Amnat has asked us, he thinks that we will dominate Manchester City and Liverpool this season in the Premier League. Let me know if you agree. Me personally, at the moment, I would say maybe, okay? Manchester City haven't strengthened their squad yet. They haven't. If anything, their squad has got weaker. They've got rid of Bernardo Silva. They've got rid of Gundogan. Who else have they got rid of? They've got rid of 2 or 3 of their starting players. But the thing you have to remember with Manchester City is, I would not be surprised if they go on an absolute mad one in a minute. I really wouldn't. Like, did you hear that apparently there's 2 clubs in the Premier League who are interested in, what's he called? Kylian Mbappe, Chelsea and one other. That's a good question for you guys. Who do you think is the other club that are interested in Kylian Mbappe in the Premier League? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think it's Liverpool? Do you think it's Chelsea? Let me know in the comment section. Who do you think the other club is who is in talks with Kylian Mbappe? So Fred says, is all the transfer talk leaning to you towards a Qatar takeover, Kieran? I said this on yesterday's stream, guys. I honestly feel like the way that Manchester United are moving at the moment by way of ingoings and outgoings, it doesn't feel like a typical Glazer summer. It really doesn't. It feels like there is something going on behind the scenes. It feels like there is someone pulling the strings. This is just my opinion, okay? So make of this what you will. If you think I'm talking rubbish, let me know in the comment section. But for me, it does feel like something is going on behind the scenes, that the Glazers don't operate like this usually. The Glazers don't do stuff properly. They don't. And the fact that in the last couple of days, Elanga, Bailly, Telles, Charlie Savage, who else has gone? Phil Jones, Tuanzebe, De Gea, like Marcel Sabitzer, Weghorst. Like, we've got rid of about 10 players in the last, month. I know some of them are loans, but I do think we're actually being quite competent now. And if we get Rasmus Hojlund, if we get Amrabat, if we get a centre-back, I honestly think we could do really well next season. I do. Because for me, the most important thing is getting people out of the club, because getting people out of the club allows you to then spend more money. It's a pretty simple concept, okay? The more people who leave, the more budget you then have to buy more players. So we need to get people out, which we are doing. Telles, Bailly, Elanga, etc. I just reeled them all off for you. Dean Henderson. It doesn't feel like a typical Glazer summer to me, but that's just my opinion. I might be completely wrong. Maybe the Glazers are trying to run the club better and then will announce that they're staying. You know, who knows with the Glazers? Nobody knows. One of them, I think it was Joel Avram, was at the game yesterday. I'm not sure if any of you guys saw that, but he was. Or was it Avram? It was either Joel or Avram. I can't remember. It was either Avram Glazer or Joel Glazer. Welcome to Yayo Yeira, who says it's their first time here today. Welcome to all the new people who have come here today. Anybody who is new, we are live at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. every single day. And if anything breaks during the day, we do, of course, go live as well. So do make sure to subscribe and to hit the notification bell if you are enjoying the show today. It doesn't cost any money, completely free, so do get involved. Right, let's move on to the next question. Lumen says, Kieran, is the coming season the most exciting one for you after so many years? That's a great question. So I'm going to ask you guys, is this season, this upcoming season, the most excited you've been for Manchester United in recent years? For me, at the moment, I'm still kind of in the middle. I don't want to get too excited just yet. As I said to you guys on multiple streams, next season, the thing that's the most important for me is the play style changing. If we start playing the type of football that Ten Hag wants to play, it will be the most excited I've been in the last 10 years about Manchester United, okay? It really will. If we carry on with this really defensive, really pragmatic style of play, then obviously I'll be excited and I'll enjoy it. But yeah, the most important for me is that we see a change in play, and then we actually see, Erik Ten Hag play the style of football that he actually wants to play. Because at the moment, guys, we're not seeing that. We're really not. So I am excited. I'm really excited for the season to start. I think we've got 3 weeks until the first game of the season. As always, we will be doing... I think my computer's just... Yeah, we will be doing watch-alongs for all of the games this season. I think the first one is on we're about 3 weeks away from the Premier League season starting, guys. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, what are your expectations for this season? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you think we're going to get top 4? Let me know in the comment section. I look forward to seeing your responses. I'm just going to close a couple of my tabs because my computer sounds like it's going to blow up. Sam says, I'm excited to see us play without McFred. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, if we get Amrabat, Casemiro, and Mason Mount, our midfield is going to be a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it? It's going to be a completely different beast. So I'm absolutely buzzing for the new season, guys. I really, really am. Yeah, very, very excited. The fact that we had people like Weghorst playing for the club, we had people like Sabitzer playing for the club, all respect to them, but they weren't good enough in my opinion. So yeah, very, very happy about that one. We've got 700 people watching today, by the way, guys. Absolutely incredible. Super, super happy with that. I think our record is 800 that we've ever had. So let's see if we can hit 800 by the end of the stream. We can achieve that by everyone smashing a like on the video. That will get more people into the chat. So yeah, massive shouts to everybody. I will carry on reading out some of your questions for the last 10 minutes of the show. So make sure you get your questions in. Stefan says, Stefan says, what makes you think it's not a Glazer window? We're still slow. No one has really gone. Maguire, Fred, McTominay are still there. Well, I do kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I think in a Glazer window, you keep David De Gea, you don't sign Onana. In a Glazer window, you keep Elanga and you don't buy another striker or a winger. I think we are getting rid of players who actually have value, is my kind of point. And we're getting reasonable fees for them, 15 million for Elanga, I'm happy with that. 6 million for Telles, I'm happy with that. Tuanzebe going, Phil Jones going, David De Gea going. Like, we're clearing wages off the bill. And if that money's reinvested, I think it's really, really good. If the money isn't reinvested, which it might not, then I think it's obviously an absolute disgrace. But we will obviously kind of keep narrating it as the season goes. We'll see how where we get, and we'll see where we end up. Because at the moment, you can't rate the season at this current point. We're still a long way from the beginning of, from the end of the transfer window. I think we've got 6 weeks until the transfer window closes. So yeah, we have to keep an eye on that one. But as it stands, I'm pretty happy with how the season's gone so far. Sorry, not the season, the transfer window. Lumen says, imagine if we have Kane in our team. Imagine how scary that would be for other clubs. Honestly, I'm going to say this now, okay? You can clip this up, you can save it, you can do whatever you want with it. If we sign Harry Kane, as well as Rasmus Hojlund, Onana, Mason Mount, and all the other players that we're linked to, right? If we sign Harry Kane as well, I genuinely think we could win the league this season. I do. That's my opinion. Let me know if you think I'm talking rubbish. But if we sign Harry Kane, Rasmus Hojlund, Amrabat, Onana, Mason Mount, I think we'll win the Premier League this season. I do. I honestly do. But obviously, we're not going to sign Harry Kane, so it's a pipe dream. It really, really is. But I do agree with you, Lumen. I think Kane to Manchester United would be the kind of turning point for us to win the league. But as people say in the chat, it's not going to happen. Very, very, very unlikely. Yeah. But I would love for that to happen. And I think that's the kind of signing we need for me to get into that position where I'm going to say, yes, we're going to win the league. Rasmus Hojlund, as much as I like him, as much as I think he's a good player, he's not going to win us the league, is he? He's going to get 15 goals, probably tops in the Premier League. So yeah, as much as that's disappointing, and it is just a bit of a pipe dream, we have looked good so far in the preseason. We have done really, really well. So hats off to the boys, hats off to Ten Hag. The game yesterday was really, really good. Again, I do apologise for not being able to do the live stream. Had an absolute nightmare with travel yesterday coming back from London. Anybody who lives in the UK knows what it's like at the moment with trains. It's an absolute mess. It is. All of them are striking. They want more money, which is obviously completely fair enough. But yeah, it's an absolute mess. Yeah, as Liam says, like, there's only so much you can do, and I do think at the moment we are doing well in the transfer window. We are. We've got 2 players in. We've got Mason Mount. We've got Onana. They were Eric Ten Hag's top targets. It looks like we're going to get Rasmus Hojlund, and it looks like we're going to get Amrabat. And as I said earlier on, Fabrizio Romano is also reporting that Manchester United are eyeing up a new centre-back. So it does look like we will get a new centre-back, which I assume will only replace Harry Maguire. So that's also really, really positive. If Harry Maguire goes, I will be absolutely buzzing. Again, I'm not one of the kind of people who, has this hate club towards players, but in my opinion, he needs to leave. He needs to go somewhere else. He needs to get game time. And if we manage to push him out of the club, that'll be very, very positive. Lumen says, are the Manchester City charges very serious and strong? As City fan, Big Steve makes them very mid and weak. I don't know the ins and outs of the Manchester City charges, to be completely honest with you, because I don't really care about Manchester City that much. But yeah, I mean, there's 115 charges, so I assume they're serious. I think it's all different types of things, like the club were getting individuals to pay people's wages and stuff. Like it's definitely dodgy. It really, really is. Yeah. Somebody in the chat saying bring back Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, I'm not being funny, mate, but that probably is the worst possible idea I think I've heard on today's stream, okay? Obviously, you're entitled to your opinion, but I would not bring Cristiano Ronaldo back to Manchester United. Never, okay? I love the guy. I thought he did well in his second part in Manchester United, but no way. I would definitely not bring Cristiano Ronaldo back. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, so this is an interesting take. Kerwin says, I saw it with my own eyes. Above, Kobe Mainu is a hell of a player. We don't need Lavia, just Amrabat and we good. 100%, mate. 100% agree with you. As I said earlier on in the stream, Kobe Mainu could easily kind of fill into Casemiro's boots, I think. He looked better than Declan Rice yesterday. He did. And Kobe Mainu cost nothing. Declan Rice cost £100 million. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing about Kobe Mainu, guys. As always, do let me know how you feel about Kobe. Are you excited for him? Do you think he's going to kind of break into the first team next season? Let me know what your thoughts are on that one. We've got 5 minutes left of the video, guys, so make sure to smash a like and subscribe if you're new. Let's have a quick look. We're 60 subscribers away from 5,800. I will give out a membership if we hit 5,800 by the end of this stream. So make sure you go and subscribe right now if you haven't already. Mussy says, I don't think an injured Martial can attract the Saudis. I do, to be honest with you. I do. I do think that Martial to Saudi Arabia makes sense. I really, really do. He's only 27 years of age, guys. You have to remember. You know, he's not like he's 40 and he's, you know, can't walk. He's only 27. He still has got quite a lot of game time left in him. He didn't used to be injury prone, so I don't know what went wrong with him. If anybody knows in the chat what happened to, if anybody knows what happened to Martial and why he's kind of now injury prone, let me know. He never really seemed to used to get injured, and then suddenly he just started to get injured, didn't he? Joe says, Kieran, he's quoted me saying, I don't really care about Manchester City. That's the best statement for today. Love you, Kieran. That's amazing. We've got our latest member to the members club. Welcome, Aaron. Everybody welcome Aaron to the Daily Red Devil Members Club. Thank you very much to all of our members. I really, really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Massive shout outs. If anybody does want to join the membership club, it is $2.99 per month. You get a badge by your name, and all the rest of that good stuff. Really does help support the channel. I've just dropped a link for it in the chat. So yeah, if you are in a position to support the channel, please do get involved. And big ups to all of our members and to all of our moderators who, and all of the regulars. I do really, really appreciate you guys. Right. Stefan says, is there any truth in the Martial to Saudi rumours? We have obviously talked about this at length earlier on in the show. I did do a bit of a deep dive into the source that's put out this story. And the guy's got, I think he had 500,000 followers on Twitter. He's a Saudi journalist. I mean, obviously I don't know the guy personally, so I'm not going to vouch for him, but it looked relatively legit. He only really posts about Saudi Arabian League. Again, he had 500,000 followers. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if there is interest from Saudi Arabia. I do think the only place that Martial can go at this point is Saudi Arabia, to be completely honest. I don't think anyone else will come into him at this point. When he's a free agent next summer, I'm sure lots and lots of clubs would want him. But at the moment, the only place I can see Anthony Martial going is Saudi Arabia. I really, really do. So Lubin says, Kieran, you don't care about Manchester City, so does that mean the treble had no effect on you? I'm going to be completely honest with you, right? I watched the Champions League final, and when they won it, obviously I was sad because they've won the treble and so have we, but they've got 115 charges against them. I'm not trying to be funny here, but anyone with a brain can see that Manchester City have definitely cheated the system, right? 100%. There's no doubt about it. So I don't really feel sad, to be honest, because they've cheated to get a treble. So why would I be sad about that? You know? It's not the same. Like, you know, if I can't really give an analogy for it. I'm trying to think of an analogy off the top of my head, but say this, all right? Say you're Sir Jim Ratcliffe, okay? This is a great example, okay? Who do you think, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, right? This is just an example. I don't love Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I'm just giving this as an example for you. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe obviously was a very poor person, supposedly, and living in Manchester and became a billionaire, right? What's a more impressive story, that or somebody who's born into billions of wealth, you know, generational wealth? For me, the story of Manchester United winning the treble, obviously the Busby Babes, all of the stuff that's happened to Manchester United in its career, in its history, and then us winning a treble, that's a fairy tale story. Manchester City being bought by Middle Eastern owners, having hundreds and billions pumped into the club, definitely, you know, and then 115 breaches of financial fair play against them, hanging over them, winning the treble. I didn't feel anything. They cheated, you know? If it was Liverpool who did it, I would have been absolutely devastated. I probably would have cried. Even if it was Arsenal who did it, I would have probably cried. But Manchester City, I just watched it and I felt nothing. I literally just felt nothing inside of me because I thought, we all know as football fans what Manchester City have done, okay? And let's just hope that they get proved in the court of law that, you know, because they have had a history of kind of rubbing off these charges, you know? So, I don't know. Obviously, yeah, I was upset about the treble, but yeah. I wasn't as upset as if it was Liverpool, to be completely honest with you. And the thing that I found the worst about it was all of the pundits. None of the pundits were like, oh, it's terrible, they've got all these charges against them. They were just like, oh, it's so great, it's so good. It's so good, you know, they've won the treble, it's a great achievement, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, are you not going to address the elephant in the room? They've got 115 charges against them, and you're sat here saying that it's the greatest achievement in football, they've done so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, that's my view on it. I honestly felt nothing when Manchester City won the treble. I was a little bit sad for 5 minutes, and then I just thought about it, and I thought, we all know what they've done. They've got 115 charges against them. Like, just think about that. It's a disgrace. They shouldn't have even... They're like, yeah, anyway, I don't want to talk about it anymore because it does just annoy me. Stefan says, Kieran, you're honestly a great person. I love your work. You're the only one that takes time to read out what we write. No problem. I do hope you guys all enjoy the stream, and anybody who is new here today, yeah, do make sure to subscribe and get involved in the channel. We've only got a couple more minutes left of the show, guys, so I will read out a couple of final chats, and yeah, so give me 1 minute. Let me read out a couple of chats. So Lumen says, Kieran, aren't we exactly the same when Qatar comes in? The thing is, Lumen, all right, that's what you're sounding like a rival fan, okay? I'm not here to have an argument with you because I'm always the type of person on this channel who wants to encourage different people's opinions. But anybody who says, oh, aren't you the same as Manchester City if Qatar come in? No, we're not. We're simply not. Do you know why that is? Because we didn't bring our success off money, off wealth, off you know, we brought our success off years and years and years and years of work, right? As I've said to you guys many, many times before, Manchester United don't need super wealth. They don't. If we didn't have the Glazers, if we didn't have this debt looming over us, we honestly would not need super wealth. We've spoke about this many, many times before, guys, so I don't want to keep going on over it, but somebody's asked, so I will bring it up really, really quickly. In the last 18 years, the Glazers have taken out £1 billion, right? The club's in £700 million worth of debt. We have to pay £75 million every single season to pay off their debt interest, right? Imagine if we had that extra billion in our pocket. We wouldn't need super wealth. We wouldn't. We don't need super wealth. Manchester City, we're in the Championship, we're in League One. They were literally a rubbish club. They were terrible. They were awful. They had no history. Somebody came in, threw the checkbook at them, and then they became successful. It's a very different thing here. It very is different. We need super wealth now to undo what the Glazers have done. That's the only reason we need super wealth. If we didn't have all this debt against us, if we didn't have all this stuff, we would be fine. We could live off our own resources. We wouldn't need Middle Eastern or, you know, this super wealth kind of money. We wouldn't need it. We don't need it. But the position we find ourselves in now is the only way that we can do it now. It is. So anybody who says, oh, you're going to be the same as Manchester City, it's like, that's complete rubbish. Actually think about it. Do the research. Look at how much the Glazers have taken out. Look at how much debt they've put us in under. The reason we have all these financial fair play issues is because of debt. It's because of wages. It's because of bad decisions. It's not because we haven't got super wealth, you know? That's my take on it anyway, guys. Obviously, rival fans would just say, oh, well, you'll be the same as Manchester City. And it's like, well, no, we won all of this stuff without super wealth. I mean, how many Premier Leagues did we win before? We don't even have super wealth yet, you know? So anyway, that's my take on it. Yeah. Sorry if I got a bit passionate there, but it is one that I get quite upset about because, like, the amount of my friends who don't really know that much about football or know anything about Manchester United, and they just come out with like, oh, well, you'll just be like Manchester City. And it's like, well, no, we won't, you know? We make like £600-700 million a year revenue every single year. Manchester City, like, Google now, how much did Manchester City make per year before they got super wealth? It was probably like 50 to 100 million a year. And now they're probably making 600 to 700 million a year, right? Somebody's thrown the checkbook at them. I will say this though, guys, just to be kind of level-headed on this. I will say this, and I will ask you guys this as well. Will success feel different if we have super wealth? That's a question, okay? Say we win the Premier League now under the Glazers. Would that feel better for you than if we win the Premier League under super wealth? I don't know the answer to this one yet because I haven't really let it sink in. But that is a question that I have heard some fans say that, you know, ultimately if Manchester United win the Premier League and we've had super wealth, it won't feel as special as, you know, if it was done without super wealth. Let me know what you think about that. I don't know the answer to that yet, guys. I will answer that later on, you know, in another stream, maybe if someone re-asks it. But I think it's a good question. It's a very difficult question. And it's one that's quite hard to kind of discuss. Right, anyway, guys, this feels like a good point to wrap up the video. Please do smash a like on the video on the way out. It's completely free. It doesn't cost any money. And please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. We will have a pre-recorded video going live at about 12 o'clock today where we'll be talking about the takeover and we'll be giving you an update on that. And then we will be back live at 6 p.m. for your usual 1 hour show. It's been an incredible one today, guys. We had over 700 people watching. Absolutely incredible. Big ups to everybody who's the regulars. Big ups to all of our new members today. We had, I think we had a couple of new members today, guys. If you are wanting to join the members club, I'm going to drop a link for it in the chat right now. I think it's $2.99 to join. So yeah, if you are in a position to join, please do get involved. If you're not, then please do subscribe, like the video, you know, share the videos with your friends, do whatever you can to help grow the community. Any support is, of course, appreciated. It's been some incredible conversation today, some great questions. It's been a really interactive show and it's been one I've really, really enjoyed. So again, massive shouts to all of you. I've had a great stream this morning. I'm going to go and have my breakfast now, as somebody said in the chat. I'll go and have my breakfast and I'll speak to you guys later. Lots of love. Peace out.